Hello, I'm Richard Tang, Chairman and founder of Zen Internet. I'm delighted to welcome today David Brereton, Managing Director and founder of Myson Pages.
Thank you, Richard.
So, Myson Pages has been a long-standing partner of Zen, and we've worked really closely together. We've got the opportunity now to work even closer together because Myson Pages has just moved in to the same building that Zen are in. So firstly, a very warm welcome, David and everyone in the Myson Pages team to Sandbrook House.
Thanks, Richard. It's been great. First couple of weeks, your team here have made us feel very welcome, and we're loving being here. The facilities are fantastic.
Awesome. So tell us, David, a little bit about Myson Pages.
Myson is now 22 years old, founded originally as a consultancy, and we used to work with blue chips, people like BNFL and AXA and Severn Trent, and offer rollouts for large infrastructures. And probably whilst we were doing that, we collected some smaller clients along the way. Our accountant was one. And we eventually got to the stage where we thought we like working with smaller businesses. They tend to say thank you. The job's a lot more rewarding and you get to go home at night. So we've pushed that button, and over the 22 years, we stopped doing the consultancy around about 2003. And we've now built a network of around 250 clients in the Northwest. And we basically manage everything to do with their IT, and we rely on you guys to provide all the connectivity.
Fantastic. And in terms of your partnership with Zen, what would you say is the best thing about the Zen partnership, and what's the thing you would most like us to improve?
Okay, well, let's do the first one first. That's dead easy. As a partner, you really are a partner. So your staff who work for you, I sometimes think they actually work for us. We have partnerships with people like Dell and Microsoft, and over the years, that really has become arm's length. You've been pushed to portals, you've been pushed away from having a dedicated contact, whereas we've got a team here, and we seem to be getting more and more dedicated contacts to help us with our day-to-day business. So that is the thing that sets you apart. So whatever the cost is and however that works, the service that comes behind that. So the service that you give to us and the service you give to our clients is paramount. What could you do better? I honestly can't really think of too much. I could probably name one specific thing, which is we were looking at a 3G and 4G backup for some time, and we've talked about this before. But as ever with technology, the things move on, and actually the need for that probably isn't what it once was. So sometimes there are things that we just can't quite get to, but in the whole, you have a great range of products, and we love working with you guys.
Fantastic. So if you were talking to a small business that was thinking of using your service, what are the sorts of things that you would say to that small business, sort of value you could add to that small business?
Well, basically, we become somebody's internal IT department without them having the need for having their own staff, or, well, you can never just have one, because if somebody's on holiday or sick, they've never got any cover. So we tend to say to our clients that we want to become a partner with them. And not a typical supplier. So like you're a partner with us, we want to work in partnership with them. We want to see their businesses grow through the use of technology, and we want to give them the right advice. So using your connectivity and the other standard products that we use, so we're a Dell house, we're a Microsoft house, we tend to do the same stuff for everybody. And that means that, if you're a business of 10 PCs, then actually you're part of a network of 2,500 PCs that we're looking after. So there's some benefits there that we're doing the same thing for everybody. And it means that, we'll push that reliability up, and we'll have hopefully a great working and long-standing relationship with you. We're here for the long run. We're not into transactional business. It's definitely about the relationship.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, there's been quite a lot in the news recently about ransomware. So what would be your advice to your small business clients who must read, see the news and think, my goodness, what if that happens to me? How can I best protect my business against this sort of ransomware attack?
Well, ironically, right at this time now, we've actually just started a roadshow across all of our clients, making some changes initially to a backup program, also to some mail filtering, but also improving our antivirus offering from what you'd call a traditional antivirus program to an EDR product where we've got an element of disaster recovery. So we can say to our clients, listen, if you get ransomware now, if you tell us, at 10 o'clock this morning, I didn't have this problem, we can roll that PC back to 10 o'clock in the morning. So I've kind of talked to our clients as if we've got the ability to do time travel now, which is much better than just fixing a problem or rebuilding a PC and somebody having an outage. We can actually say, well, okay, watch the screen. We'll take those files that have infected your PC or your server away. You can actually see them disappear, and we'll put you back to how you were before you got the infection this morning. So that, from the kind of the work that we're doing at the moment, is the big game changer. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but how expensive would a ransomware attack be? And I think, sadly, up until now, until you actually have one, you don't necessarily see the value in some of these services, but it's becoming the main now. So that's a great piece of work we're doing for everybody.
Yeah, well, that's really reassuring. And regarding the cost of ransomware, I think the cost is $70 million in Bitcoin.
Yes, yes. Well, ironically, you've mentioned that one of the tools that we use to manage all of our infrastructure, one of our competitors, we use a company called Enable, but one of their competitors, Kaseya, last week had that system itself hijacked. So the very people who are there looking after your IT are having their systems compromised. And as you say, it's a £70 million Bitcoin ransom that they want paying to unlock people's systems. Yeah. So if we can at least give a level of protection where we can roll back from that, then why wouldn't you?
Well, that's really reassuring, I think, for your small business clients. Let's talk about a different sort of infection, COVID. So looking back over the last, year and a quarter now,
yep.
What has the impact of COVID been on Myson Pages and on your small business clients?
Multiple different things have happened, and we've all lived through it. And I think the initial shock of, what is this? How is this going to play out? What do we do? And then into that kind of middle phase of, okay, now we're working through lockdowns. And now we're probably in a third phase of, well, there's got to be a new world coming out of that. It's been a journey for us also. Going right back to the start, it probably meant that instantly we sent all of our staff home. In fact, if I remember rightly, they sent themselves home a week before Boris locked us down. They kind of saw it coming. We had the remote tools to work from home. So we did that, which kind of left me in the office, unboxing things so people could remote control them and prepare them. So I was kind of the office janitor as well as the managing director. Then we started to bring people back. From our customers' point of view, they were doing something similar, blended working, people at home, so requirements for more connectivity. So with COVID and now also with Brexit and the kind of impacts of all that, we're seeing it really hard to get hold of some equipment. So sourcing laptops and remote computers for our clients was tough, but we got through that. And I think generally the big tick in the boxes, the work that we did for our clients meant that our value was really appreciated. We responded quickly. It was almost a blue light service. We kept people working. We kept those businesses functioning. And I think maybe the value that they held us in has gone even higher, if I could say that. So now we're coming out at the other end. We've moved into your office here. I got quite annoyed the other day because nearly all of us were here. It was part of our moving in. And I didn't really like it because it was a bit too noisy. So we're probably going to be about 50% full here. Because we're going to go to that blended working. And what I've seen from my team especially is that I can let them work at home. I can trust them to do that. They will work on their own. And it's been interesting. We've seen one or two clients who've kind of asked us for software solutions that suggest they don't have that level of trust. And I think maybe the world's going to have to change where location and maybe 40 hours a week isn't basically the standard, but actually getting the job done in your time, and things will become different. Hopefully for the better. From an environmental point of view, which I know you're right into, if my guys come to work half the time they did, then I've halved my impact through people driving here, which is a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's what we found at Zen. We've had over 90% of the workforce working from home for most of the pandemic. And we've discovered we can run the business perfectly well with everyone, pretty much everyone working from home. Yes, it's been challenging for some. But it was a real discovery.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me back, say February last year, what do you think about home working? I would have said, really good. It's good to have that flexibility. But of course, most of people need to be in the office most of the time, right? Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And I think that was a real limiting assumption.
Well, I
as it
think
turned out.
obviously Zoom and Teams came to the fore, and Microsoft were pushing Teams, and it's been the best advert for them ever. It's kind of self-seeded and it's gone through the roof. All of our clients are using it. We use it regularly. The one thing though I think that you can't do with those technologies is have that spontaneity, that meeting, or those off-the-cuff discussions that lead 3 or 4 people to say, hang on, why don't we do that? So I think places like Sandbrook Park are going to become more creative. You've got to meet up to solve problems. You don't necessarily have to meet up every day to do what you would do that day, the next day, every other day. You can do that from home, but when you need to get together and come up with solutions, then you need to be together. So I'm quite looking forward to us having that time, because that's actually where the magic happens, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So finally, looking to the future, your ambition and vision for Myson Pages in the future, what have you got in mind?
Well, I've always said we've grown organically, which is why in and around the same size as same time frame that you've grown this place from being on Dane Street to now being here, we've kind of grown to the modest size that we are now, and that will continue. I want to provide an environment where people love coming to work. We work with some great customers, and the weeks fly by. People feel, it's a job that they want to do, and we've done well to create that. I think this place is going to give us the next step up with the facilities here and the surroundings. It's just a great base for us to continue in that regard. So, in moving back to Rochdale, one of the things that COVID did teach us, that while I quite used to like my half-hour journey to Delft every day, which is Saddleworth's lovely, during COVID it was an hour where I could use that time better. Work is home, home is work now, so why spend an hour in the car when I didn't need to? So moving back to Rochdale and the links we've had with the Rochdale ambassadors, and This is Rochdale, we want to make sure that we're the kind of number one choice for small businesses in the town. So many people use us already. We're kind of a badly kept secret, and we need to just push on with that, really.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, David Brereton from Myson Pages.
Thanks, Richard.